Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you your biggest mistake happens right before bed? Not your phone, not your thoughts, but what you don't do, and it's stealing your peace, your focus, and the next day's energy. Here's how to fix it in 60 seconds. You brush your teeth, you wash your face. But what about your mind? That noise, that clutter, the unfinished battles of the day, they don't just disappear when you close your eyes. Tonight, try this instead. A simple prayer, a blessing, a way to close the day so the next one begins fresh. Not religious, doesn't matter. This is about resetting your inner world. Think about last night, lying there replaying conversations. Worries about tomorrow. That nagging feeling you forgot something. Your brain doesn't get a memo that it's time to sleep. It needs a ritual, a signal, something deeper than turn off the lights. Without it, you wake up tired before the day even starts. The 60-second nightly reset. You've done it 1,000 times. The day ends, you lie down, and suddenly your mind races. Unfinished tasks. Conversations replaying, tomorrow's worries creeping in. You tell yourself, I should sleep. But it's like shouting at a storm to stop. The problem isn't your thoughts, it's that you never told your body and mind the day was truly over. Think of it like this. When you leave work, you shut down your computer. You don't just walk away while programs run in the background. But with your mind, you expect it to power off on command. It doesn't work that way. Your nervous system needs a ritual, a signal, something to cross the bridge from day to night. Here's how. Sit at the edge of your bed, feet flat on the floor. Feel the weight of your body pressing down. This isn't just about posture. It's about presence. The moment you sit like this, you're telling your body this is a transition. We are changing states. Close your eyes. Not to sleep, not to escape, but to see inward. Now breathe in for 4 seconds. Not a shallow sip of air, but a deep, slow pull, like drawing water from a well. Hold it for 4. Feel the pause. That's the space between what was and what will be. Exhale for 6 longer than the inhale. Why? Because the out-breath is where release happens. It's your body's natural way of letting go. Do this 3 times. No more, no less. 3 is a rhythm, a pattern your mind recognizes as completion. After the 3rd breath, whisper, what's done is done. What's not can wait. Say it like you mean it, not as a wish, but as a fact. Those words aren't just phrases. They're a contract with yourself. You're acknowledging the day's efforts, its struggles, its unfinished edges, and saying enough. This isn't about ignoring tomorrow's responsibilities. It's about creating a boundary. Right now in this minute, you are here. Not in the past, not in the future. The moment you do this, something shifts. Your shoulders drop, your jaw unclenches. You might even sigh without realizing it. That's your nervous system responding. It's hearing you. Some nights this will feel easy, other nights your mind will fight it. But I need to figure this out now. It'll argue that's when you breathe again and repeat the words firm but gentle, like guiding a child to bed. You wouldn't let a child stay up solving problems. Why do it to yourself? The magic isn't in the technique itself. It's in the consistency. Doing this nightly rewires your brain. Over time, your body will start anticipating this ritual. The moment you sit down, it'll begin powering down. Not because you forced it, but because you trained it to trust. Trust that you'll process what matters. Trust that you won't abandon today's lessons or tomorrow's need. Trust that there's a time for everything. And right now, it's time to rest. You might wonder, why 60 seconds? Why not longer? Because this isn't meditation. It's a switch, a deliberate conscious act to close one door before opening another. Longer isn't better. Clear is the simplicity is the point. No apps, no journals, no special skills, just you, your breath, and a few words. Try it tonight, not perfectly, not as a test, just as an experiment. Sit, breathe, back, then let go. Notice what happens when you wake up, not just the sleep, but space in your mind. The slight pause before reacting. The quieter hum of background anxiety. That's the reset working. The gratitude pause, not what you think. Gratitude is everywhere these days. Journals, apps, posts. Be grateful like it's a switch to flip. But here's the truth. Most gratitude practices fail. Not because gratitude doesn't work, but because we've turned it into a checklist. I'm grateful for my bed, my job, my health. Generic, hollow, like reciting a script. Real gratitude isn't about the big obvious thing. It's about the tiny cracks where light slips in. The moments you almost missed, the ones that don't make the highlight reel. That's where the magic is. Tonight, try this. Instead of listing 3 things you're grateful for, name one moment, just one, that made you pause today. Not the promotion, not the birthday party, the flicker, the way steam curled off your coffee cup this morning, the way a stranger held the door just a second longer than necessary, the way your kids sighed in their sleep when you tucked them in. Why these? Because they're unplanned, unstaged. They're proof that beauty exists even in chaos. When you train yourself to spot these, something shifts. Your brain starts scanning for them like a treasure hunt. Not because you're forcing positivity, but because you're waking up to what's already there. Here's how to do it right. Close your eyes. Let today replay. Not the meetings, not the chores, the in-between beats, the 5 seconds you looked out the window and noticed the color of the sky. That's your moment. Sit with it. Feel it. Feel it. Not as a thought, but as a sensation. Where did you feel it in your... A warmth in your chest, a lightness in your shoulders. That's gratitude in its raw form. A physical reaction to connection. Now amplify it. Imagine that moment is a tiny ember. Breathe into it like you're gently blowing on a fire. With each breath, let it grow brighter. Not to manipulate the feeling, but to honor it. This isn't about creating false joy. It's about recognizing that even on the worst days something, no matter how small, was good. Some nights you'll struggle to find it. That's okay. Search harder. The parking spot you got without circling. The song that came on at just the right time. The way your body carried you through the day without complaint. These aren't small things. They're the foundation. This practice does something deeper than just feeling good. We are wired to spot threats, not gifts. By deliberately focusing on these micro moments, you balance the scales over time. You'll notice them as they happen, not just at that time. And when you do say thank you out loud or in your heart, not to a god, not to the universe, but to yourself for noticing, for paying attention. That's the real gratitude, not for what you have, but for what you see, the let go mantra. There is a weight you carry to bed every night. Not the weight of your body, not the heaviness of your limbs, but something else. The unfinished argument, the mistake you can't take back, the thing you should have said but didn't. It sits there in the dark like a shadow at the edge of your vision. You try to ignore it, but it doesn't leave. It waits. Here's the truth, you were never meant to sleep with these Ds. They are not yours to hold through the night, but the mind doesn't know how to release them on its own. Words alone aren't enough. Thoughts alone won't do it. You need something more, something physical, something real. Tonight, try this. Take a single piece of paper. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be clean. A receipt, a scrap, the corner of a notebook, anything. Now write down one thing that bothered you today. Not everything, just one. The thing that when you think about it makes your chest tighten. Don't overthink it. Don't write an essay. 1 sentence, maybe 2. That's all. Now hold it in your hand. Feel the weight of it. Not the paper, the meaning, the energy you've given it, the space it's taken up inside you, and then crumple it, crush it in your fist, make it small, or tear it slowly, deliberately into pieces. Listen to the sound it makes. That sound is the breaking of a chain. As you do this, say these words. This doesn't get to live in my night. Say it like you mean it, not as a request, not as a hope, as a command. You are drawing a line. You are declaring this ends here. This isn't just symbolism, it's science. Your brain doesn't always distinguish between physical acts and emotional ones. When you destroy the paper, something shifts. The mind registers its closure. The act of tearing, of crushing, it signals release. It tells your nervous system this is over. Some nights the thing you write will feel small. Other nights it will feel like the whole world is on that paper. It doesn't matter. The size of the problem isn't what counts. It's the act of letting go. You are not pretending the problem doesn't exist. You are not running from it. You are simply saying not now, not here, not in this space. After you tear it up, throw it away. Don't keep the pieces. Don't leave them on the nightstand. Put them in the trash or burn them if you can. Watch them disappear. That's the final step, the physical proof that it's gone. You might wonder, does this really work? Try it. Not once, not twice, but for a week. Notice what happens. Notice how your body reacts. Notice the space that opens up in your mind when you're not carrying yesterday's weight into tomorrow. This isn't about avoiding your problems. It's about respecting your rest. The night is not for fighting battles. It's for healing. And you can't heal if you're still holding on. The shadow work question. There is a question you've been avoiding, not because you don't know the answer, but because you do. It's the thing you pushed aside today, the task you didn't start, the conversation you didn't have, the truth you didn't speak. It lingers not as a thought, but as a feeling, a slight unease, a quiet hum in the background. Most people ignore it. They tell themselves, I'll deal with it tomorrow. But tomorrow comes and the cycle repeats. The weight grows, the shadow gets darker. Tonight before you sleep, ask yourself this: what did I avoid today? Don't judge yourself for it. Don't analyze why. Just name it. Say it out loud or whisper it in your mind. I avoided the email I needed to send. I avoided the hard conversation. I avoided looking at my finances. Whatever it is, call it by its name. This isn't about shaming yourself. It's about seeing. When you name something, you take away its power to hide. You bring it into the light. And in the light, things are never as scary as they seem in the dark. Now say this: I see you. We'll handle this tomorrow. That's all. No promises to do better. No grand plans. Just acknowledgement. Just presence. Why does this work? Because avoidance is fear in disguise. Fear of failure. Fear of discomfort. Fear of facing what you don't want to see. But when you name it, when you look at it directly, the fear shrinks. It becomes a thing. Just a thing. Not a monster. Some nights the answer will come quickly. Other nights you'll have to dig. That's okay. Sit with the silence. Let it rise on its own. The thing you're avoiding is already in you. You just have to let it speak. This practice does something deeper than just clearing your mind. It builds trust with yourself. Every time you name what you've avoided, you prove that you can face it. Not now, maybe not tonight, but eventually. And that proof matters. Over time, you'll start avoiding not because you've disciplined yourself, but because you've learned that the shadow is always way. Try this for 7 nights. Notice how it changes you. Notice how much lighter you feel when you're not running from what you already know. The body scan secret. The moment you lie down at night, your body begins telling its story, not in words but in sensations. The tightness across your shoulders, the dull ache in your lower back, the subtle tension in your jaw that you've carried since morning. These physical sensations are more than just muscle fatigue. They're the living record of your day's stresses, worries, and unprocessed emotions. Most people try to sleep without ever listening to this story. Their body is trying to tell them. They toss and turn, wondering why sleep won't come, not realizing their physical form is still braced against the day's battles. The body scan is not just another relaxation technique. It's a profound act of communication between your conscious mind and your physical being. When done properly, it becomes a sacred ritual of release, a way to systematically unwind the accumulated tensions of the day. The process is deceptively simple yet remarkably powerful because it works with your body's natural wisdom rather than against. Begin by lying flat on your back in a comfortable position. Let your arms rest gently at your sides, palms facing upward in a gesture of receptivity. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing each exhale to be slightly longer than the inhale. With each out-breath, imagine you're releasing just a little more of the day's weight. Now bring your attention to your toes. Really feel them. The contact with your socks or sheets, the space between each digit, the temperature of the air around them. Curl them tightly for a count of 3 seconds. Then release completely. Notice the immediate difference between tension and surrender, between holding on and letting go. Move slowly upward through your body with the same deliberate attention. Your feet come next. Flex them, stretching through the arches. Then release. Feel how the muscles soften differently after being intentionally tensed. Continue to your calves, thighs, buttocks, each area receiving the same careful focus. The abdomen comes next. Tighten your core muscles. Then let them go completely, feeling your lower back settle more deeply into the mattress. Your hands deserve special attention. We carry so much unconscious tension in our hands from typing, gripping steering wheels, clutching phones. Make tight fists, feeling the tension radiate up through your forearms. Then open your hands wide, stretching through the fingers. Notice how this simple act can create a wave of relaxation through your entire upper body. The shoulders and neck often hold our deepest tensions. Raise your shoulders toward your ears, creating maximum tension. Then let them drop. Do this several times, each release going deeper than the last. The jaw is another critical area. Clench your teeth together firmly. Then part your lips slightly, allowing your jaw to hang loose. Many people discover they've been maintaining subtle tension in their jaw all day without realizing it. The face holds more tension than we typically acknowledge. Scrunch up all your facial muscles, forehead, eyes, nose, mouth. Then relax them completely. Notice how your breathing changes as facial tension releases. Finally, spend a few moments simply observing your whole body in its relaxed state. Appreciate the feeling of being fully supported by your bed, of having consciously released so much accumulated tension. The power of this practice lies in its simplicity and completeness. By systematically working through each part of your body, you ensure no area is left holding residual tension. The contrast between tension and release is key. It teaches your nervous system the difference between the two states, making relaxation more profound. Over time, you'll become more aware of tension as it builds during the day, able to release it before it becomes problematic. Some nights, certain areas will resist letting go. These stubborn pockets of tension often correspond to specific stresses from your day. When you encounter them, breathe into them imaginatively, picturing your breath as warm light softening the tightness. There's no need to force relaxation, just maintain patient, compassionate attention. Regular practice of the body scan does more than improve sleep. It cultivates a deeper mind-body connection, making you more sensitive to your physical needs. You'll begin noticing how different emotions manifest physically. Anxiety in your stomach, frustration in your shoulders, worry in your forehead. This awareness becomes a powerful tool for emotional regulation and self-care. As you make this a nightly ritual, you'll find your body begins anticipating the release. The simple act of lying down in this intentional way becomes a signal to your nervous system that it's safe to let go. Your bed transforms from merely a place to sleep into a sanctuary of restoration, where each night you systematically undo the day's accumulated tensions and return to your natural state of ease. The forgiveness ritual nighttime has a way of amplifying our regrets and resentment. In the quiet darkness, the mind replays every harsh word spoken, every opportunity missed, every perceived slight. We carry these emotional burdens to bed like invisible weights, then wonder why we wake feeling unrest. The forgiveness ritual is a powerful practice for laying down these burdens before sleep, creating space for peace and renewal. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It's not about condoning hurtful behavior or pretending something didn't matter. True forgiveness is an act of self-liberation, a conscious decision to stop allowing past pains to dominate present moments. When we withhold forgiveness, whether from others or ourselves, we remain psychologically trapped in the original hurt. The forgiveness ritual provides a structured way to break free from this trap each night. Begin by sitting upright in bed. This formal posture matters. It signals to your mind that you're engaging in important work. Take 3 centering breaths, then speak aloud. Today, I forgive myself for, and name specific actions or inactions. Be precise rather than general. Instead of I forgive myself for being a bad person, say I forgive myself for snapping at my partner during dinner. The more concrete the acknowledgement, the more powerful the release. Now turn outward and outward. I forgive name for again, be specific. I forgive my coworker for interrupting me in the meeting. Speak these words with intention, regardless of whether you feel complete forgiveness, yet the feeling may follow later. What matters now is the sincere intention to release the resentment. After speaking these declarations, place one hand over your heart and one on your abdomen. Feel the physical reality of your being, your heartbeat, your breath. These simple touches ground the practice in your body. Breathe deeply 3 times, imagining each exhale carrying away a layer of resentment. Visualize the grievances dissolving like dark smoke dispersing in wind. The ritual's power comes from its combination of elements, verbal declaration, physical touch, and conscious breathing. This multi-sensory approach helps bypass mental resistance. Even when your mind clings to resentment, your body begins the process of letting go. The act of speaking aloud is particularly potent. It transforms internal ruminations into external reality, making the forgiveness more tangible. Some nights the words will flow easily. Other nights they'll catch in your throat, especially when addressing deep hurts. This resistance is natural and valuable. It shows you're engaging with real emotions rather than superficial gestures. When forgiveness feels impossible, modify the wording. I begin the process of forgiving, or I open myself to eventually forgiving. The seed planted tonight may blossom in its own time. Regular practice creates profound shifts. You'll notice certain grievances recurring less frequently in your thoughts. When old hurts do surface, they'll carry less emotional charge. The memory remains, but its power to disturb your peace diminishes. What once caused sharp pain becomes neutral recollection, proof of healing rather than ongoing suffering. This ritual also cultivates valuable self-awareness. As you examine your days for what needs forgiveness, you become more mindful of your actions in real time. The evening reckoning begins influencing daytime behavior, creating a positive feedback loop of greater consciousness and fewer regrets. Forgiveness is ultimately an act of self-care, a quiet yet powerful choice you make not for the person who hurt you, but for your own peace of mind. Too often, people misunderstand forgiveness as condoning what happened or pretending it didn't matter. But forgiveness doesn't erase the wrong, it simply releases your grip on the pain. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy backpack day after day. It drains your energy, steals your joy, and weighs you down emotionally and even physically. When you choose to let go, you're not saying the hurt was okay. You're saying your peace matters more than your anger. Imagine ending each day with this simple ritual. Before you close your eyes, you intentionally set down the emotional baggage you've been carrying. Maybe someone's words hurt you. Maybe life didn't go the way you hoped. Maybe old memories keep replaying like a broken record. Whatever it is, forgiveness allows you to release it for the night. You tell yourself, I deserve to rest in peace, not in pieces. This act isn't about forgetting, it's about freeing your heart so it can breathe again. When you do this, something remarkable happens. You start sleeping deeper, your body finally relaxing because it no longer feels the need to keep replaying old battles in the background. Stress hormones settle down, your mind quiets, and your nervous system shifts out of fight or flight mode. You wake up lighter, as though someone took an invisible weight off your shoulders while you slept. That's because you did through forgiveness. This nightly act transforms not only your sleep, but also your mornings. Instead of waking up carrying yesterday's arguments, disappointments, or regrets, you rise with a sense of renewal. You feel emotionally spacious, ready to embrace the day ahead rather than relive the day behind you. It's like hitting a reset button for your soul. Every new sunrise becomes a fresh start instead of a continuation of old pain. Over time, this practice builds emotional resilience. When you release resentment regularly, bitterness doesn't have a chance to take root. You stop overthinking past hurts and start focusing on present possibilities. Relationships feel lighter because you're not stockpiling grievances. Your mental health improves because you're giving your mind the gift of closure each night. Forgiveness becomes less about the other person and more about protecting your own peace. So make forgiveness your nightly gift to yourself. It costs nothing but gives you everything: better sleep, calmer mornings, a heart free to love, and a mind free to dream. Each night when you lay your head on the pillow, choose peace over pain. Let resentment go. Give yourself the grace to rest without carrying yesterday into tomorrow.